everything was going really great. I had positive feedback from the loan officer. He said it was definitely going to go through. After weeks, he was like, it's going to get approved. Yay. We just need to get the rubber stamp from the executive team. And then an executive looked at our website, and I got a phone call from the loan officer, and he said, I'm so sorry, they've decided to turn you down because they don't want to be associated with a company that talks about oral sex and rimming on their website or at all. And I was just like dumbfounded. But I probably shouldn't have been, because this kind of thing has happened before. It's happened with other small business lenders as well. I thought this one was going to be an exception because the loan officer this time knew everything about the business from the very beginning. He assured me that it was a very progressive organization and that everybody was going to be fine with it. So I thought this was going to be different, but other banks have turned us down. One thing that happens a lot with venture capital firms is that they have these things called vice clauses that prevent them from investing in companies that make sex products or like marijuana or alcohol. And then, also we applied for a lender that makes loans on the basis of intellectual property. And our IP is very strong because I used to be a lawyer, or I guess I'm technically still a lawyer. And, IP was really important to me. So I was like, oh, great, this is a great way to get funding. And they sent back an email immediately, and they didn't even look at the IP. They were just like, I see what you make and we aren't going to fund this.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's just wild. I mean, it's not, and yet it is, it's somehow not surprising and also like flabbergasting at the same time. I don't know how it can be both of those things.
I totally agree. I don't know. I went into this kind of having a bit of a Pollyanna-ish view about it. I don't know. I've always been very open about sex and sexuality. And I was a peer sex educator, and I used to work, I thought I was going to do theater. And so I worked for the producers of the vagina monologues. And that was my first job. And so I've been talking about sex in a work context for kind of a long time. And I guess I thought people were going to be more comfortable with it. But it's crazy. Even within the sex industry, when I was first looking for a manufacturer, one of the manufacturers that I reached out to makes condoms in the United States. And when they found out that we were making products for cunnilingus, they're like, no, we're not comfortable.
Are you kidding me?
That is wild.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You know what's funny though, is here's why I think it surprises me sometimes with stuff like this, is it's with loans or investors and stuff like that. The thing that I think is insane to me is that it somehow still is a wall, even when it comes to financial investment, in a way where you're yes, sex, that famous thing that nobody likes and that is not lucrative in any way. That even then, when it's a huge source of revenue and income, and every marketing thing is secretly it just at its core based around sex, that even then you still can't get people to get over that hump of it. And you're just wow. Yeah, how wild.
To be a business that's okay, so what's your target demographic? And you're literally anyone who has sex.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if I know any of those.
Never heard of them. No.
Never heard of them.
Yeah. I mean, that's
sex, not familiar. Tell me more.
I mean, something that happened to me that has been annoying at different points is people also assume that because I don't know if it's because I'm queer or because they hear the word dental dam, but they're this is a really niche audience. This is just for lesbians. And I'm no, that's totally not true. I mean, 80% of the population has oral sex. It's a very, very
you heard it here first, everyone. Straight women famously hate cunnilingus, from what I've heard. Yeah, it's just, I think that's
Oh
just
my
a
God.
widely known fact, you know.
I don't want to blow this person's spot up, but I'll just say it's a straight male friend of mine. But literally the other day he sent me a message that was like, I need your help.
Stop. Stop
Like,
it.
and he's like, I just really need some oral tips. And I was like, I mean, yes, like if you want oral tips, go to a lesbian, but like everyone needs oral sex tips. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. And I will say the tips worked. He was successful.
Yay! Awesome.
Are we congratulating him or whoever they were successful for? Both. Congrats to you both.
Congrats
Listen,
to
okay.
everyone involved. Always ask a lesbian.